I drew a late season leftover tag, and so it's not a great unit. That's why there's tags left over, hence leftover tag. But Garrett and I are determined to find a good buck. We're out in the middle of nowhere, and we were doing fine on gas, above half, but I didn't know that we wouldn't see another town for 5,000 miles. So we are on empty, the light is on, and we're going through this steep stuff right now, and we have no idea where the next town is. So I think we're screwed. Mainly the neutral and the downhill is saving our bacon right now, because we are 20 plus miles right now on empty. And always get gas. Doesn't matter if you're at a 3/4 of a tank. If you see a gas station out here, you just fill up. Oh, thank you, Xanders. Watch, there's no gas.
Gas station's closed.
35.5 on empty. We got lucky. We got lucky. We got dang lucky. We got beyond lucky. So we're just driving. We're probably, I don't know, 45 minutes out of our area where we can actually hunt still. But there's a field with probably 100 deer and 20 are probably bucks. And then on the other side of the road, there's probably 200 whitetail, and there's a whole bunch of bucks there too. So, pretty crazy. I wish these were, I hope it's like this where we're at, where we're actually hunting. I heard it's not, but we'll see. All right, so we stopped in town and we got some groceries, got a little dinner, and then by the time we got out of dinner, it started just dumping snow on us. We started to go up to where we wanted to hunt. We just got whited out and it was just too dangerous. So we're stopping at just a little local motel here, and we're gonna stay overnight. Oh. Trying to pump myself up to get out in the -5-degree weather. Our game plan is to go to the place that we spotted on our Onyx maps. It's kind of a little corner piece that I don't think a lot of people will go to. It looks like some pretty jagged, rugged country that would hold a big buck. Let's get it started, baby. It's cold. Coolers usually keep things cold. In this case, they're keeping it warmer than it would. Oh my gosh, it's cold. I see why I had a couple people tell me that people don't like to come in here and hunt this, especially in November. Makes a lot of sense now. We just don't know this country, so we're gonna drop the jumping jack and we're gonna mark it so we don't forget where we're at, because we literally have never been here before. We got out, spent about 30 seconds glassing this deep, nasty canyon, and about 30 seconds into glassing, spotted a buck. He got over the top pretty quick before we could get the camera on him. Probably cruising for does, but that's pretty cool to see a buck that fast. Yeah, I don't know, I'm just jacked we saw a buck. Alright, so we were glassing and Garrett spotted a buck, and it dove down into a big cut. So we drove down, started glassing again, and I spotted a coyote. And right as we were looking at the coyote, Garrett spotted that buck again, and it went back into another cut, and so we can't see him. So we're gonna try to go get on a knoll The only problem is, as I'm speaking, we are fogged in. So screw you, fog. So we went to where we thought that buck was, and as we came down we got into this big cut and this doe popped out, and we got excited because it's November. We thought for sure buck would be behind her, but we have no idea where he went. He probably just tucked into one of these crevices here and we haven't seen him, so we're gonna sit down and glass a little more and get a little food. Alright, so we got fogged out and snowed out in the higher country, so we came down low, grabbed some gas, and we're basically just skirting these farm fields, and there's BLM corners. There's just corners of BLM that touch these private pieces, these farms. So it's foggy up there. We're gonna come down here and see if there's any big deer hanging out on these borders. Onyx Maps is a saver here because we'd have no idea where these little public pieces are without it. So. So our little plan of hugging this little corner of BLM worked out perfectly. There's a little, I don't know what we'd call them, 4-point, 6-point whitetail. I don't know how you score whitetail, but anyway. So there's a little whitetail buck that came out just perfectly. He's at 650 right now. We could smoke him if we wanted to from 650, or we could get down to about 400. But we're gonna keep looking just in case his daddy comes out.
They're getting better, bud.
We could have shot a nice little whitetail tonight, but I decided to pass on him. And it's only our first day hunting, so I want to keep going, see what else there is. It's cold. You're freezing cold, but then you're hot. It's the worst feeling.
What's the plan, Grill Master?
Well, we have some brats that I hand rolled myself. I didn't really, but we have some brats cooking on the old camp chef, and we're gonna eat inside the jumping jack and then sleep.
Play a quick game of Scrabble before we...
It's really quick game of Scrabble. Dude, everything is frozen solid, everything. The jumping jack was frozen solid.
Imagine if we stayed out last night and that jumping jack would have got wet from the snow.
Oh my gosh. You know what's funny around here? Deer actually dig caves and go inside of them, and they hibernate because it's so cold here. Cheers. Just warming up by the old buddy heater here and getting a little breakfast. About ready to fall asleep again. Well, I think it's a little colder than yesterday, but I'm not sure. I do know my hands are frozen, I can't move them. And I just looked into the jumping jack window and it's all iced over. So I'm not sure how that happened, but
I just know it's really cold.
So we tried a new area today, which we're not too far from where we went yesterday, but we just got up high and there's just this jagged country all over the place. It looks good, and we're actually at a pretty good little glassing spot, so we're gonna sit here and glass for a minute and see if we can turn something up. We're just not seeing deer. I don't know if they're, you know, they could be hiding in any of these thousands of rolls, or, you know, I think the other thing is there's just simply not a lot of deer here. But gosh, it looks like predator haven here. There's like so many caves, and, you know, we saw some grizzly tracks walking in, and it looks like an awesome place for lions. I don't know. I know there's deer here. There's just not a lot, man. We've seen like 4 or 5 mule deer in 2 days. That's not very good, but not very good. We've been up here all afternoon glassing and can't turn up anything. I don't know if we're too high, or I don't know what to do, but we're seeing some deer down low, so we're gonna go check out some of the public down there, and I don't know, go down low, I guess. So tonight we were way up high and glassed all afternoon, couldn't find anything. We glassed down into these fields and we saw all these mule deer in them. We looked at our Onyx maps and we're like, holy cow, that's a walk-in access. So we came down, checked to make sure we were good. Sure enough, walk-in access. So we got in there. There's a small 2-point with a bunch of does, and then more does and another 2-point fed out, and we kind of just watched them, and just not what we're looking for. In another walk-in access, we saw some whitetail. So we're gonna hurry and drive over there and just see if it's somewhere we want to come back tomorrow. But yeah, we got a little creative today. Went walking access. We're trying a little bit of everything, pulling out all the tricks. Well, right at dark we saw a big old whitetail buck, and so we're gonna try to go get him tomorrow. So right now we're gonna get some food and some warm drink, a warm wilderness athlete, and go to bed. Well, it's cold. We're trying to unthaw. The Forerunner's trying to unthaw. The old jumping jack, the inside of the jumping jack has like 1/8 of an inch of ice in it. It's so cold this morning. Oh, we're just warming up by the buddy heater, getting ready to go. We're gonna go try to slam that big whitetail we saw last night, or there were mule deer around there too. So we're hoping there's a big buck hanging around all those does that we saw. So anyway, that's the plan. It's cold, so that's good for deer moving. We went to this new piece of BLM. It's right on the corner of BLM and state land and private. It's kind of this corner spot. And we got out, started glassing this sagebrush side hill along with this tule bottom. And right in the tule bottom I saw a face staring at me. And so we got a smaller buck right now, and he's just frozen staring at us. And we're just making sure that nothing else pops up with him. He's not very big, but he's probably maybe the second biggest buck we've seen. So right now on my Onyx, I'm just gonna mark a waypoint so that we know how to get back here. And then if we don't see anything good tonight, we're gonna come back. private. Just barely on private. Two good bugs came out tonight with those. They were just barely on private, right off of the state ground that we're hunting. So we had like four does in front of us. Just no bugs came out. So just bad luck, I guess, or I don't know. So anyway, we're gonna pack up. It's too dark to shoot, but try to figure out what to do tomorrow, make a plan. Tomorrow's the last day, so I was hoping to get it done tonight. The local dogs are out tonight. All over the place. Over here, over here, over here. They woke us up this morning. It's cold, dude. We got a little hot, hydrate and recover, a little wilderness athlete. Just freaking warms up my whole body. Well, we've spotted some deer right off the bat. There's two does right in our area on our state piece where we can hunt, but so far we haven't seen a buck. And back on that private where we can't hunt, we saw that really nice buck again. He chased some does. He's already into the river bottom and into the thick stuff. He's already gone. Hoping one of these bucks comes onto the state land. We still have a lot of glassing to do. It's still a little bit dark, but just hoping, praying something good happens. Oh, and I found there's obviously some mule deer here too. So we got another buck spotted. We are the blue dot on this. That buck is literally right on the line of public and private. He's on the other side of a fence. So that tells me he's on the private side. But it's hard to say because there's two fences kind of close together. And there's no signs that say no hunting or anything like that. So it's just really hard to say. But he's really close to that border. So I think what we're gonna do is get a little bit closer, kind of see how our lines match up once we get over there, and see if we can see any more signs that say no hunting or no trespassing, and then we're gonna go from there. So we're sitting like this. He's like, yeah, right in front of us. I think he needs to come up just a little bit more. Yeah, give him a little more. Let's get set up. Alright, well that buck was on private, in fact, but when it started to go back to bed, it crossed onto public, but we just didn't get there in time. We'll see. This is a Hornady 212 grain ELDX, and I'd like to use this tonight. That would be real nice. Take a deer home with me. You see a buck with her? I don't see a buck. We got 10 minutes of light. Let's take her. You on her? Okay. Alright, so it's last light on the last day, and we had a bunch of does coming around us, and there was a possibility for a buck to come out, but I let it fly. on a doe. So it's an any deer tag, and I didn't want to go home tag soup empty-handed, so we just reviewed the footage. I hit her good. Everything looks good, so we're gonna head over and look at her. And you know, we maybe had 10-15 minutes of shooting light left, so maybe a buck could have came out, but with an any deer tag, and you know, this being the last day, last night, I just elected to take a shot. I mean, gotta take some meat home for all this work and money and time and effort to put in. And probably the coolest part about this whole hunt was, well, first off, never been here. First time ever hunting this state and ever hunting this unit, obviously. The most difficult part was navigating private and public lands. Right where we shot this beautiful doe, we had a chance at a couple bucks on the first day, and we decided to pass them because they were too small. But anyway, didn't want to come home empty-handed, so bringing home this beautiful girl, and she's gonna be awesome to eat. Thank you. Well, we tied the doe down to the jumping jack. We're headed out. Got we got some water full of WA, what do you call it?
Gas?
Caffeine.
Oh.
Wilderness Athlete caffeine. I'm gonna down some of that. We're exhausted. It's 7:30, we're gonna drive all the way through the night. You know, the whole point of this hunt was to try something new. The point was adventure. And so that's why I got this leftover tag, you know, headed out with my good buddy Garrett that's behind the camera, and we just wanted to see, you know, what we could find. And God, we did a lot of things. We went to state ground, we covered walk-in accesses, we went to BLM, we went all over the place. We tried all sorts of different things. And so, you know, on the last day when we finally figured it out, the buck doesn't cross through. So, you know, I took the opportunity to harvest a beautiful whitetail doe, and she's gonna be awesome eating, and the adventure's complete. I don't know what to say other than it was just one big adventure. Now we're just driving home with some fresh meat on the back of the jumping jack. So I'm stoked about it. It was fun, really fun. So onward. That's a wrap. That's a wrap, baby.
What did you shoot?
I shot a doe. Whitetail.
With your buck tag?
No, it's an any deer. Any deer unit.
That's what I mean. You used your buck tag on it?
Yeah. 10 minutes of light left. Absolutely. Yeah.
Couldn't find a buck, huh?
No. No, it was so dark, and these does stepped out. If I waited any longer, it wasn't
Were they
gonna.
whitetails or mule deer?
Whitetails.
Well, at least it'll be good to eat. Oh, that's a fact.
We would have had like a 2-minute shot because they shoot out of the trees and go into the fields, and so there's
They
like.
didn't come out tonight?
No, bucks didn't come out tonight.